I have a short-term rental on Lake Norman in North Carolina, and now that we're in the slow season, I've been giving some thought. What's the best use of my money to get the best return right now? Well, if you're like most people, you probably think that buying another property is probably the best route, but I disagree. I believe the best investment you can make is to make your short-term rental stand out against the competition and make it more attractive for potential guests, especially if your property just doesn't stand out. How do you do this? Well, one of the first ways you can do this is by looking at your competition. Who are you competing with and what are they like? You need to see where the bar is set in your market. Some markets, like Orlando, have an incredibly high bar. I mean, look at these photos. These are typical properties in that market. Amazing. Most markets aren't that competitive when it comes to design and amenities, but there may be design or amenities that are good to have or even required for you to compete in your market. Looking at our log cabin, I believe we nailed the design and the look and feel of the property, but we're lacking in amenities. Two amenities that I've been thinking about adding to our short-term rental is a hot tub and kayaks and paddleboards. Why did I pick these? Well, let's start with the kayaks first. So our cabin sits on a lake, so activities that are on the water are a natural choice. And many people in the area have amenities that cater to this. Now, I don't plan on buying a motorboat and docking it there at the house, letting guests use it. Instead, we have a boat rental place that's not too far away that our guests have used in the past and they've liked it. The rental facility provides functioning, well-maintained boats, plus they take on the liability of using it. And they have a wide variety of boats that somebody would be interested in, which is also a big plus too. So I think relying on a boat rental place for motorized boats is a good idea for us. But I also think that adding non-motorized, simple boating would be a great option for our property, which is why I'm looking to add this right now for the next busy season coming up this summer. What am I adding exactly and how much is it going to cost? Well, I'm estimating that it'll be about $600 for each of two kayaks, about $700 or so for each of two stand-up paddle boards, and about $500 for a rack to put them on. And I found a rack that I really like that attaches to my dock, which makes it pretty handy for the boats. Plus, add $500 for paddles and for safety equipment like life jackets and such, and the total would be about $3,600. Last summer, we made about $38,000 in revenue during the busy season from May to August. Now, could I expect that these amenities like the kayaks and paddleboards could bring, say, an extra 10% of revenue during that period? I'm pretty confident that it will. As a matter of fact, they can be paid off that very first year, and every year after that is pure profit. That's 100% cash on cash return, which is incredible. The second amenity we're going to add is a hot tub. The first thing I did was did some analysis to find out, of all the properties that I compete with, how many have hot tubs versus those that don't. And here's what I found. When I go into Airbnb and I look for Lake Norman, I filter to properties with only 3 bedrooms. I keep the dates flexible. I put, I think, six guests. Airbnb came back and said there's 377 properties that fit that description. Now, if I select hot tub in the filter, the number of properties drops to 124. So it's basically 1/3 of the properties have a hot tub versus those that don't. Then I looked at the revenue potential. I happen to use dynamic pricing software from a company called PriceLabs. Not only does PriceLabs manage our pricing, but they also have something called market dashboards, which really help give you a better idea of what's going on in the market and how your property fits into that. I find it super useful. In this case, I did a search of 3-bedroom homes on Airbnb that do not have a hot tub, and I found that the average revenue was $50,000. If I adjust the filter to include the properties that only have a hot tub, those properties average $80,000 a year. That's a $30,000 difference in 1 year, which is huge. Now, we need to keep in mind that it may not be the hot tub alone that's driving that increase. What do I mean by that? Well, it could be that properties with hot tubs also have pools, and pools will obviously also help you with your revenue too. So there is a little bit there you got to consider. But even if it's half of the $30,000, say $15,000, it's still a great investment. How much will it cost me to purchase it and install it? Well, I ordered a hot tub for about $7,000. I'm paying about $4,000 for the electrical work to get the 220 volt line in place at the spot the hot tub's going to sit. And I'm also allocating $500 to $1,000 for movers to help me move the hot tub from the driveway to the back of the house. So the total investment is about $12,000. Plus I'm allocating about $100 a month for chemicals and cleaning, which is probably more than what I need, but that's what I'm setting aside. Now, do I think I can hit $13,000 in the first year of increased revenue? Well, I'm fairly confident that yes, that can happen. Hot tubs are especially popular during the cold season, which is really also the slowest part of the season in my market. So I'm hoping that the hot tub is going to help me fill in a lot of the open spaces that I might have during the slow season, and also provide more bookings during the shoulder season, which is the season between the high season and the slow season. Right in the middle there, that's called the shoulder season. So that's my thinking. And based on this data, I think it's very reasonable that I could hit 100% cash on cash return with this investment as well. So if you look at these two amenities, kayaks and hot tubs, I could very well get all my money back after the first year, which is unbelievable. That's why I said at the start of this video that investing in your property to make it a more attractive place to stay is something that's going to pay off much more than going out and buying a brand new property. I will never get anywhere near that kind of return purchasing a brand new short-term rental. I just won't, especially given the high interest rate environment we're in right now. There's no way. Isn't it amazing that something like that can provide such great returns? Well, it's something that I thought is important to make a video about. Now, the numbers that I shared with you are specific to my market. Your market may be the same, may be different. It wouldn't surprise me either way because every market is very unique. But it's very important to do your due diligence and analyze, see what the potential is. Now, if you're interested in seeing how my wife and I did after the first 12 months of this short-term rental, including all the revenue and the costs and kind of how we ended up financially, then you can check it out right here. Thank you for watching the Immigrant Wealth channel.